Okay, as the title says, this is a free video about the Israeli-Palestine situation. So free video meanings just it's like free writing. So basically, I did a free video earlier. You can check it out if you want. But it's basically instead of on my last free video, I kind of talked slowly, but I'm gonna talk real fast because I'm just gonna do that. So when the war first started, I mean it's been a long time since the war started. I think it was 2 to 3 years ago. I basically kind of said something against Israel on Facebook, and basically what I said to some Jewish people or Jewish transhumanists is that Jews should just stop being Jews and convert because they're in Europe, and historically the Europeans have done a lot of horrible things to them. So why be Jewish? Why not just convert? All paths lead to God. So why just convert? So I realize now that that's not something that's easy to do. But besides, why would they do that now? Because now they have a lot of power. If anyone in Europe wanted to do something stupid to the Israeli people, to Jewish people, they'll have to answer to the Israeli army. So they really don't have to do that. But like Nassim Taleb, I saw a video by Nassim Taleb. He was basically saying how the right to return is kind of false, because genetically the people that belong to the area are the Palestinian people genetically. So the right to return is kind of false. But let's be practical. Israel is very strong. There's no way you're gonna get rid of all the Jewish people. I need to look up what the population of Israel is, with that huge army and all the influence they have overseas. Well, the influence is kind of going down now, because, like, for instance, in New York, when I first came to New York, some Turkish guy told me that the Jews are very strong in New York. But now someone that says he will arrest Netanyahu might get elected in New York City. So is there influence coming down? I mean, another thing is Jews themselves are not that pro Netanyahu. So that's another thing. So let me fast. So why am I not out there? Well, first of all, through the middle of the war, I kind of wanted to become Jewish. I first told this guy Jews should convert and stop being Jews. That's an option, instead of going to war all the time and being victims of European hate. Why not just convert and become part of the majority? I said that once, and then I went to synagogue and tried to become Jewish. So anyway, but because I like the Jewish people and what they have achieved and things like that, and I think the Jewish language is very interesting and things like that. I wouldn't really. Well, I could still be Jewish if I wanted to, but because unlike Christians, they're not anti-rich. With the Christians, they have the gospel of something. Gospel of like the Southern Baptists, they're not anti-rich. So I can be Southern Baptist if I wanted to. But the thing is, I digress now. I mean, even though there might be a God, I feel like I don't really need God's help. So I'm not going to be, like, for instance, I digress again. For instance, it's not about me and God. I wanted to go to church today, but I'm not going to go. I don't think. I keep changing my mind all the time. So yeah, why am I not out there protesting? But yeah, because it's really a hard thing, man. It's a really hard thing because Israelis are killing a lot of civilians, and you know I said this to said this to a transhumanist Facebook friend of mine on Facebook, and he said if the Israelis really wanted to genocide the Palestinian people, we could do it much more faster or something like that but you know if you I mean right now there's a lot of pushback against what you're doing, and if you actually if you actually well if you actually killed a lot of people like the Germans did, there'll be even more pushback. So this definitely will not be tolerated. So that's why you're not doing it really, because if you could do it, you would do it, but you're doing it slowly. So why am I? Yeah, like I said, even the Jews, like a lot of Jews, protested against the invasion. So why am I not protesting? So I guess this free video is not really a protest, but it's actually giving attention to what's happening there. So I'm slowing down now. What else do I have to say? Oh yeah. Well, I said the Jews should just convert is one option, but it's really not a practical thing to do, I used to when I used to go to several years ago, I used to go to Hindu Corville, and then I talked to then I was like because all paths lead to God, and then I was telling my brother how us going to Hindu Corville is kind of irresponsible because religions fight each other, and if we go to Hindu Corville, we identify as Hindus, and we're basically contributing to the problem. But even me, that things are all, a lot of what I mean, is there actually a Hindu god with an elephant head? It sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Also, when you in the Bible, I went to college and I learned about Darwin and all that stuff. And did we really come? Did we really come from Adam and Eve? That also sounds like a bunch of bullshit. But even for me, I'm actually going. I'm not going to do that anymore. But I went to church and I tried to go to synagogue, and when my mom asked, I go to Hindu Corville. So even for a person like me to completely reject religion, it's not that easy. So for a person that doesn't think that, it must be much harder. So yeah, asking the Jews to just convert might be the right thing might be the answer, but that's really not practical. And ask them all to leave Israel. First of all, now let me criticize the Muslim. I mean, why? First of all, why? That's another thing. It's like 50% of Palestine has left. So already left. So why hasn't the left? I mean, why haven't the rest left as well? Because one thing might be because they can't. But if 50% can leave, really the other 50% can't leave? I find that hard to believe. So I feel like the people that stay there because they want to stay there, and if you stay there, yeah, you're going to occasionally your people, your horrible Hamas is going to do something stupid, and then Israel is going to attack you, and even if you don't support Hamas, you and your children are going to get hurt. So, it's kind of irresponsible of the Palestinians to live there, especially with the kids. If they can leave, they should really leave. Another thing I was thinking about earlier is that some other person was saying how, like, Nassim Taleb basically said, so there was some genetic studies saying that the Israelis, genetically Israelis are not, they don't belong there, but another Jewish scientist was saying how the Jews do belong there genetically, and they're similar to the Palestinians genetically, and that the Palestinians should just convert to Judaism. So again, that's kind of asking for too much. This is really not practical, but maybe we should, because just like, maybe we should respect these people a little bit more. I don't know how, and ask them to. Well, first of all, the Jews are the most powerful people in Israel. So really, instead of the Jews leaving Palestine because the Jews are powerful, the Palestinians should stop being so anal retentive and just convert to Judaism. I know it's very hard, but I think that might be the answer, or just leave. So if you're gonna, I really feel bad for all the people that are dying, especially children and stuff like that, and the salvation. But maybe you should all just leave because the Israelis are too powerful. Okay, I'm gonna stop. That was a pretty good. I'm gonna watch this and feel good about myself. That's a good video, wasn't it? What do you think? Comment. Thank you. Subscribe. Thank you. This is Sash Balasinkam throwing spaghetti at the wall. I mean, I should really say that. What am I doing? I'm just experimenting with this channel. I'm doing quantity over quality. Well, I don't know. I'm doing quantity without worrying about quality, but worrying too much about quality. Hoping that I'll get a large YouTube following. Why? It's just like a marathon for me. Why do people run marathons? When they finally complete it, they feel good about themselves. So it's just something that I'm doing to feel good about myself. And I may make some money, and if I make some money, that's just an extra thing. But I don't really want more things, or better things. I'm happy with the things that I have. Okay, thank you. Free video about Israel, Palestine.